Welcome to Easy Email Marketing. I'm your host, Yael Keown, mum, FIFO wife, MBA, coffee lover, survivor superfan, and creator of the email experience. In Easy Email Marketing, you'll benefit from my nearly 20 years experience, where I'll be teaching you all the tips, tricks, and insider info on how to create feel-good, non-spammy experiences for your subscribers. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the Easy Email Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Yael Keown, and I am back. I am officially back on Aussie soil after having a month away in Ireland with hubby's side of the family. It was just so nice to finally get back there after 3 long years of not seeing everyone. I got to hug my 9-month-old nephew and just really experience the Irish countryside and heatwave apparently as well. And we were spoiled with the most amazing accommodation. We had the Shannon right at our back doorstep, did a little bit of travel, but mostly it was just a lot of family time. So when I went away, since it had been so long since I had some time off, I did want to try to do as little as possible. So while I showed up for my Free to Thrive members and my email experience members, I didn't do a whole pile. As I mentioned in episode 60, how to holiday proof your email marketing, I did a lot of pre-scheduling of everything so that I had as minimal stuff to do as possible. So make sure to check out that episode if you're curious as to how I set everything up. I think I only made one mistake instead of accidentally sending one email a day early in terms of my scheduling, but overall it went pretty well. So super pleased that things just kind of tipped over while I was gone. I had a couple of creative nudges, so I did a couple of little things, but nowhere near what I thought I would do. And so now I'm just settling back in, just nearing a week back now. I've just been reconnecting with members, doing all the admin catch up, figuring out what I'm doing next, and now I'm ready to hit the ground running a little bit. So definitely time to get into it again, and here I am recording this episode. But one thing I did work on through the break, of course, was continuing to provide content for email experience clients. And at the beginning of August, I updated the whole sign up experience section of the members portal. So within the email experience, there are 5 different experiences that I recommend you create for your subscribers. And the first one, of course, is the sign up experience, because this is where people first hear about you. But the thing about email marketing is that there are a ton of different things you can do. As you can see, we're up to episode 62 and I've still got a ton of stuff to talk about. But there are a ton of different things you can do, but that doesn't mean you need to do everything. And it definitely means you don't need to do everything all at once. Instead, I recommend a step-by-step or layered approach to all of the different things you do with your email marketing. And I break that down again within each of the 5 email experiences that I teach within the email experience program. So today I thought I'd share with you how I break down one of the more confusing areas of email marketing, and that is how to grow your email list. So yes, this is the world of lead magnets, sign-up forms, lead pages, webinars, quizzes, PDFs, challenges, bootcamps, courses, video series, the works. So honestly, it doesn't take much Googling of how to grow your email list to have hundreds of ideas, but no idea where to start. There are an abundance of people, and you're probably seeing it in your Instagram feeds, of how to create the most amazing lead magnet, etc. But it just is so confusing. And often also I see what people do is they start with one, like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to start with something. They set it up and then they don't get the miraculous results straight away. They don't have 1,000 subscribers or even 100 subscribers that whichever guru promised they would get within 30 days. So instead of trying to drive more traffic to it or to optimize it, they just try the next brilliant idea. And then the one after that, and then the one after that, the one after that, and you just end up in this endless cycle. And that's exactly how you end up doing a lot of work, having a lot of stress without getting much results. Instead, we need to make smart, layered decisions. And as much as it pains me, marketing is a game of patience. I have very little patience. I am, telling the kids to get their shoes on, to get out the door for school. That is the most horrifying part of the day for me. I absolutely hate it. I'm like, can you just get them on already? So believe me, I understand how frustrating it can be to try to set up a lead magnet or try to set up any marketing thing and then wait for the results. We need time for your lead magnet or your sign up or whatever it is to be seen by enough people. So you have enough data to make decisions on. Your lead magnet or your freebie or your form needs to be seen by at least 100 people before you start making decisions. And then you need to know what the average statistics are to know how well you are performing instead of just doing a blanket guess. So just keep that in mind. Plus, if you're just starting out, and I was talking especially to those people who are right at the beginning of their journey, it can be incredibly daunting to go from zero to webinar. So there's not only the thing like the job of creating the thing, so the PDF or the webinar itself or the bootcamp and figuring out how you're going to deliver it and how to create it, but there's also the tech inside your email software. So your sign-up forms and how to plug that into your website. There's how to do the automations, like where you send out where you deliver the content, or you're sending reminders, or you're connecting that up to your welcome series. Not to mention creating any promotional material that you want to have, your posts, and then actually scheduling them and getting them out there. There's a lot of work behind these things. So that's, a lot to take on right at the beginning. So that's why I recommend starting with the bare minimum and adding in the layers. So not only is it achievable and realistic for anyone starting right from scratch, but you're also learning as you go and you're adding in all of those extra details. So that is exactly why I teach this layered approach. And as I mentioned, there are 3 layers to this sign up experience. The first one is just about getting the basics done. So I'm going to tell you something that a lot of online marketing people won't tell you. And that is, you do not need a fancy lead magnet yet. Instead, you just need a reason for someone to sign up to your email list. So, big mistake here is people go, sign up to my newsletter. Nobody wants to sign up for that. Instead, we want to think about, okay, what emails are they going to get? What value are they going to get from me every single week, every single fortnight, every single month? What type of stuff? Is it exclusive behind the scenes content? Is it first releases? Is it VIP access? Is it just amazing content and amazing emails? What is it that you are providing? And just have that be the reason. So here, our focus isn't so much on that because that's something that you should be able to pitch pretty quickly, especially when you come up with some ideas. But it's about setting up the process and the system behind it. So this is the tech setup. So creating your form, learning how to embed it on your website, and learning how to send that welcome email. And then just sharing with people, hey, if you become a member of my VIP club, you're going to get all this amazing stuff. So just keeping it simple. The exception to this is, of course, for e-commerce, where you might want to consider just having that % off first order or the free shipping thing that often e-commerce stores do. Again, because that's just something quick that you can put together. It doesn't involve a lot of setup. All you need to do is have a coupon code and give them that code in the email. So that's okay. I would put that caveat as an opt-in incentive that you put in at this level. But the goal here is to make it as quick as possible to get a sign-up form on your website. And as long as it doesn't say just sign up to my newsletter, you will be all good. And now you are at least capturing your warmest leads at this stage while you then move on to the next layer, and that is creating your lead magnet and working on that stuff. Plus, you're getting those first subscribers and you get to engage with them, you get to talk to them, you get to ask them questions, you need to send out emails on different topics and see what people are interested in, and then use that to help inform your decision about what your lead magnet should be. So that's layer 1. Layer 2 is then where we add in that cornerstone lead magnet. So you've got the basics in place, and now this is about making it a bit more enticing for people to sign up by giving them something in exchange for their email address. And then also having a lead page to sign up for it as well. So we need to think of something that people are just like, yes, give me that thing, give me that freebie, and here's my email address because I really, really want that. Okay, so in this layer, I don't want you to go too fancy yet again. Pretty much, we want to stick with a very basic lead magnet. And within the email experience, and I believe in a previous episode, I've talked about what makes a good lead magnet. So make sure to check that stuff out. But we just want to have something that appeals to your ideal audience, obviously, and it solves a quick problem for them. And it's just a simple PDF style document, something that's not going to be too overwhelming for you to create. Now, of course, if you absolutely love video and video is your jam and you just want to record like a quick little training, and because you find that better, easier than a PDF, then of course you can do that. Or perhaps another idea is like a mini email course where it's like a course, but it's just an email a day for 5 days. So it's just words. Or it's just a basic PDF. The thing is, we want to create something simple and just have the one to start. The temptation is to try to create a million different things. No, just create the one, get the promotional material in place, make sure you are sharing it enough to see how well it is tracking. And sometimes if it doesn't do so well, it might not be meaning having to recreate the whole thing. It just might mean changing the title. It can be simple things like that. So we want to add in this layer of one key lead magnet, typically some sort of PDF download like a checklist or some swipe files, something really powerful, but really simple. And that's what we want to create here and have a lead page associated with it to send out. And then that's something that we want to add across your website, in your blog content, have it in your profile of your Instagram, bio, you have the links there and you share it everywhere because that is your main gateway to joining your list. Okay. Then level 3. Level 3 is all about just like exploding your growth, just a little bit. So this is where you are like, okay, I've got my list. I've got a steady flow of people coming in. And on the back end of that, I can see people are converting. I'm sending regular enough emails. I am selling to my list on a regular basis. So remember, while I'm talking about the sign-up experience here, I'm not just, we can't just have all amazing lead magnets and just go this process without having the other back-end email marketing stuff going. Because it's no good having a list that's grown to 2,000 people, but you're not sending them any emails or you're not ever selling to them. So we definitely want to, after we've got layer 2 set up for your lead magnet, that you've got the stuff happening on the back end and you can start to see people converting. People are engaging. People are liking your content. When that happens, you can come back now to layer 3 and go, okay, I'm getting conversions and it's actually pretty good, but I want more people on my list. So let's start growing it even more. And really there are 4 approaches within this. The first one is to add some more advanced list building opt-ins. So things like quizzes or pre-recorded videos, like courses or masterclasses, etc. Layer those in because sometimes they can appear more valuable or at least you get more of a quality people. So you might want to replace your existing lead magnet with that or have it in addition to. The second option here is to have multiple lead magnets and they're aimed at the same audience and offer. So multiple lead magnets just to give people a little bit of a selection. So 2, 3, but they still just point to the same thing. So you still basically end up filtering them to the same sort of welcome series and you're offering them the same thing at the end. Where we can get even more advanced is having multiple lead magnets, but they're targeted to different audiences or different offers. So this could be, you might have one PDF or one lead magnet tailored to one who's at a beginning stage. Or you might have one that's one that's tailored to someone who's more at the advanced stage, and you would talk to them in different ways. So as you can see at the back end, you're going to need a different welcome series entirely because you're talking to people in different ways. But if you have different audiences like that, you can definitely do that as well. So a way I could look at doing that, for example, in future is I could have a different lead magnet for e-commerce, a different lead magnet for services, and a different one for digital businesses. And I could have a different experience for each. But in the end, I could offer different services or I can still lead them back to offering the same thing with the email experience. So again, you can see how we're just layering in these extra things. And the fourth one, and perhaps one of my favorite ones, and that is just adding occasional list building boosters. So this is just what adds a little bit of fun. And often this will actually form the part of launches, but even if you don't have a launch style business, you can still do list building boosters throughout your calendar just to get some engagement and fresh blood on your list. So this is like an event. So this is like running a giveaway or running a live webinar or having a live challenge or a boot camp. And it just happens every few months. Maybe you do one a quarter and you could repeat the same one or you could do different ones throughout the year. And you start just having these little bursts, like these little mini promotional campaigns that instead of targeting towards a sales campaign, they're targeted towards this event and growing your list. Of course, you can sell on the back end of that, absolutely. But it just gives that little boost. When things are feeling a little bit stagnant, you can do that as well. So that's the 3 layers. Layer 1 is all about just getting the basics in place without any fancy opt-ins. Then layer 2 is all about adding your first cornerstone lead magnet and really making sure you nail that, and then the back end of your marketing. And then layer 3 is where you're starting to have some fun. So this is where you can either add in some more advanced strategies, you can have multiple lead magnets, or you can just do some once-off list building boosters. So as you can see, there are many things you can do with list building, and it's easy. It's so easy to get sidetracked by all the possibilities. But the key is to start with where you are at now, get confident with that, and then add the next thing. So of course, if this is something you want more support and guidance on, make sure to join the waitlist for the next time the doors to the email experience open. You can do that at yaelkeown.com/experience. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to hear from you about what you've enjoyed from this episode or what you want to know more about next. And I'd love to connect with you over on Instagram. I'm at yaelkeown. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Easy Email Marketing. It's an absolute honour that you chose to listen. If you love this episode, then it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review so that others can find this podcast and make their email marketing easy too. Finally, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a thing. Until next time, have an awesome day and make sure to keep showing up and serving in those inboxes.